I would like to welcome all of you to my vlog, and at the same time I would like to welcome my very good friend Jihai from the great China.
Thank you.
So the deal is this, that when I said that we can make this vlog, Jihai said he's not very confident in front of camera. So we do this, and if it works, then I will make it as a vlog and publish it. If not, we will keep it for fun, right? For our memory.
Exactly.
And but I must say that it's not true that he's scared of camera, because when we were in university together, he was the model for our university. Isn't it, Jihai?
Yeah, but
Okay.
I kind of was more scared of your questions rather than the camera.
Okay, so the deal is that I have prepared 4 questions, and Jihai, you have prepared 4 questions, and I don't know what he has prepared. He doesn't know what I have prepared, and we also want to ask questions that is only related to Corona or lockdown, because I'm meeting him after the lockdown, but it's actually been how long that we've met? Last summer?
Last summer, I guess.
I think last summer.
1 year, something.
1 year, yeah, is when we met. So let's start with the questions.
Lady first.
Ladies first, okay. Then I ask my first question, yeah? My first question to Jihai is, my first question to you is, how many times did you get tested for COVID-19? Or did you get tested at all? I don't know.
To be honest, for this year, I got tested for 8 to 9 times.
8 to 9 times?
Yeah.
But why?
Because I went back to China in March, and that's when I had my business trip back to China, because I was in Germany, and then the outbreak, everything goes on.
Yeah.
Then I flew back in March. Then, as I explained before, have to be put in a hotel, so to say, kind of quarantine zone. We got the first day, the third day, the 5th day. We have to get the corona test with the nose and with the throat, no? And then every other day we have to get our blood test. That's like the 5th test, the Instagram. In total, like 5 times of tests already. And then in the end, before we leave, we also have to get like CT test to check our lungs, so that it gets clear, that 100% sure that you're clear. With all the normal standard test, plus 2 times of a blood test and 2 times of a CT check.
And how long you have to then stay?
I have to be like quarantined for 14 days in the hotel. 14 days and I have to cover all the costs myself. Unfortunately.
For the hotel?
For the hotel.
Oh, so the government doesn't pay for the hotel?
No.
And for the tests?
Unless you are positive, and the government take care of everything in the hospital. Other than that, you pay yourself.
Okay. But then it's your choice, right? You went out, you went in.
That's my choice.
Now you can ask my question. And maybe extending my question, okay? You didn't get positive, right?
I didn't get positive. I didn't seem like lying. No, I didn't get positive. I always negative.
Okay, very good.
That's why I pay everything for myself in the end.
Right? Yeah. What's your question for me?
Yeah. Does all this corona thing that brings you or affect your life and work for the past few months, like greatly affected your work and your life in a bad manner?
In a bad way, I would say, okay, generally I'm somebody who would like to look at things more positively. But, however, I'm a very social person. Like, I like to meet friends and be around people. And this was obviously cut down, right? So we had to be at home and work from home and just be at home. But in a way, I thought that was also good because there were so many people who couldn't do that because of their kind of work. They had to go to work.
Yeah.
So I had the privilege of not being able to go to work or meet people, but I was happy with that. I mean, I was okay with that. But another bad thing is that I wanted to go back to my country, to India, which obviously is not possible anymore. And that is probably for me the most saddening part. And also, I'm worried because my parents are there. You know, in India things are getting bad, and would they be okay? So I think that always worries me. So that's
Fair
a bad
enough.
thing. Yeah.
Fair enough. Family come first.
Okay, next question for you, right? Okay, so I know that he doesn't eat wild animals. You don't eat wild animals, right?
No.
But I want to ask him, have the government, or is there any discussion on not having these wild animal shops in China? Because I think everything came out from there, right? People are saying at least that's how it's originated. So do they discuss anything about it, or it's still ongoing that you still have these places where you can buy wild animals to eat?
It's of course after the corona outbreak, it's like under huge discussion about even seafood and even the wild animals like bats, what you mentioned before, of course, no?
Yeah.
But there's like still certain places like you can control, but you cannot eliminate everything. So there's still market that exists that sells all these wild animals.
Yeah.
But as I can read from the news and from some comments of like Twitter, Chinese Twitter, Weibo, and WeChat, and so people are discussing it that this should totally make no sense. There should be like move out of the market or even black market. And exactly, it's illegal anyways.
Yeah.
So it's under discussion that
So these markets are not legal, right?
It's not legal. It's not legal. That everyone should stop eating it, but still there's a certain portion of people who love this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Just like Chinese people sometimes also love to eat dog, some kind of regions, no? And it's really hard for them to stop like in one hand, but indeed this discussion is really going on, and people should really stop eating those wild animals.
Exactly.
Especially when it's illegal.
Yeah.
That's my point of view.
Yeah, because it's not controlled and we don't know what diseases they have. And okay, my question now. So by the way, we haven't discussed, okay? So it's not planned, we're just actually taking it from our head and saying.
So my question is, do you guys or you do the quarantine before? Do you know how that feels for 14 days in a place that you're not allowed to go out?
So did I do quarantine?
Yeah.
So it was from the German government. They said that we have to not like quarantine, but like stay at home. So lockdown, right? So I did the lockdown. Yeah.
But like compulsory quarantine for 14 days alone, you didn't do that before, no?
No, I didn't, because...
do you think you can accept this kind of idea of being alone 14 days, compulsory 14 days?
Of course, yes. I mean,
do you think you would go crazy or something like that?
No. For me, I wouldn't go crazy at all, because even like I said, I like to meet people, go out. But during the lockdown, what I actually found nice was that I was learning about a lot of things that I could do, but I was not actually probably good at. Like I started drawing, I started probably cooking more, and I started contacting my old friends. So I would be fine. I mean, as long as there's internet, I'll be good.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay.
Yeah. Comes your third question.
My question to you is, so Mr. Dear US President Donald Trump, he always calls it a Chinese virus or I don't know, he says many things that China was hiding it, and he's always have accusations, right? We don't know if it's right or wrong, but what is your general thought, or how does people see that in China, like in a normal environment? What do people talk about when you hear Donald Trump?
Well, about the Chinese virus, no? It's not some. It shouldn't be something very subjective. I think it's Chinese virus, or somebody thinks Chinese. It should be very objective, according to some, so to say, scientists or scientists proof at least, no? Because so far as far as I can read from the news all over the world, there's some saying that okay, this virus was found 2019 in Italy or 2019 in New York or whatever.
Is that what they say in Chinese news, that it came from Italy and New York? To be frank, I haven't heard.
It's from the Western media. Western media. So I think even the Dr. Fauci, the American scientist here, of course you know him, and it's no conclusion that where the virus is from, even according to WHO, World Health Organization.
But that's also what he's saying, right? That even WHO was like keeping it under the blanket, that it was there and nobody was talking about it and all that, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like we should see it as from the scientific point of view. No? It has an outbreak in Wuhan, China, but it doesn't necessarily that the viruses are generated there in a lab or widely. I don't know, whatever it is, but I think in the long time of history that maybe it would give us a more concrete perspective of where it's from, what it is. Until now, maybe the scientists doesn't have a really clue what it is, how it's going to develop.
Yeah, my question is, I mean, there is whole discussion where it came, originated, we have a lot to discuss, but it's more like, Donald Trump using the word not COVID-19 or Corona, he's just like Chinese virus, That's very funny for me. And how do you people see it? Like he's funny, or he's ignorant, or what does people say?
It's actually not funny at all.
Not funny at all.
If you for personally or for public, because this can cause huge problems of racism, for example. And if you call it a Chinese way or whatever way. That will cause one nation that is targeting on the other nation, especially on the street or in a supermarket where you have different, everywhere we can see all those news that you Chinese virus should get out of my country, you Asian virus, you whatever virus shouldn't be here. That this is will cause a lot of this racism topic that is really heated.
No, this I can already say, because a friend of mine, he was saying that he was going on the train, and this person has not been to China in many years, but he's a Chinese, he was living in Germany, and in the beginning when he was traveling, people were actually going away from him because they were scared that he is Chinese, or he looked Chinese, but anyways, you can ask me my next question. My last question. Is it my last question? Or the third one? Okay.
The next one will be your last, but now it's my third question.
Okay.
I also would like to know a little bit more about the situation, the current situation in India. So I would like to know, when was the outbreak? Like, when was the outbreak that starts after the outbreak in Wuhan? And second of all, I would like to know, when is the high peak of the corona cases, and how did the government issue all the policies to control the situation develop? And in the end, I would like to also know a little bit about the current situation.
I think India as a whole is a huge country, so it's very difficult to, and I would say each state it's working really differently. but I can say for my state where I come from, so we can go a little bit in detail. So it's called Kerala, and there the first incident was for a student who was studying in Wuhan.
Okay.
So she came back from Wuhan so she got it, and so she was positive, and then there was a traveler who was with her, they got positive. But there was just 2 cases, but our state managed it really well, and they were okay, and then everything was solved. And the next kind of wave came when there was a family from Italy who came back to our place again, and they, even though they had the symptoms, they didn't tell anybody they had. So they went around for weddings and events, and they hid it from the authorities, and they gave it to everybody. And that's when it started spreading, and then obviously then it started spreading in different parts of India, and now I think it is second highest numbers in the world for infections after US, which is terrible because we have such a large population and our medical systems are not as good as in a Western world, right? But I believe we have a bit of advantage because our population are, on an average, we are a younger population in India. So it's, but nevertheless it's a bad situation because we have a lot of daily wage workers who has to be at home because of Corona, and they have no money to run their day-to-day life, which is also equally very bad. So,
and how about the healthcare system right now? Do they have enough hospital to
in some states they're overwhelmed and there's no space, but in some states there are still capacity. So it depends, right? So my last question to you, Jihai, what I want to ask is, tell me 3 concrete measures the Chinese government did against COVID-19.
Okay. Well, the first one, of course, is pure lockdown.
And when you say lockdown, you can't get out of the house for anything?
No.
And what if you want to buy?
People deliver. Like it's kind of a community thing. They're responsible to deliver all the vegetables, all the meat, that whatever you need into your house. So you don't get out for the 30 or 40 days in February, I think. February, March. At least 30 days. You don't go even half a step out of your house. So that's how they cut all the sources that have COVID into spread into other, I don't know, cities or streets. This is the first step. And the second step, I think, when they have enough capacity, they provide enough masks. So there is a compulsory that everyone has to wear a mask, and all the people have to get tested. Everybody in Wuhan, I think they get tested.
Oh, it's not only in Wuhan.
Yeah, only in Wuhan. All the severe, top 4, they have different levels. There's like serious levels. Those cities you have to get purely tested before you go out to other cities. And the third one, I think, is until today, whenever there's even one case or 2 cases going up, they will just lock down the area. Okay. So this is pure, if you could, I don't know. This is the easiest way to cut the chain. Okay. So and this they do it seriously. Otherwise, 1 becomes 2, 2 becomes 4, 4 becomes until 100, 200, 1,000. And until today, they're still doing it. And last point I also want to add as well is because China is under control, fully control, and there's also another source of COVID that's coming from foreign countries. People live in I am right now that I'm going to back China. Compulsory 14 days of in a hotel quarantine, so that everyone and gets 7-8 times of tested on COVID. If you're clear, you're very clear. If you're not clear, then you're out. So which means there's no source of a COVID going on. So that means control. The last question is, what is Corona is bad, COVID is totally bad. But besides that, what is the good things that this all COVID story bring you somehow at some point, some moment of your life, and what is the good side of it, and what is your prediction in the next 6 within 1 year? What's your prediction in terms of the numbers and how it develops?
Good question, Jihai. So the good thing, I think the goodest thing for me, I think is that I somehow have a more, or I value my family and my friends more, because I think we've all taken it for granted that we have friends and we have family. I don't know, I don't meet them all the time, but that's fine. But that's not fine, because things can change and you're not able to meet them, hug them, touch them, travel to them. It's not always possible. So in a positive way, I'm more nicer to people and friends. It's not that I was bad before, okay? But I'm more responsible, I think I would say.
Okay.
And the future, in regards to the future, I think generally I would say from the digitalization point of view, at least in Germany, I would say we were not up to the level of what we should have been. But I think Corona has actually kind of accelerated it. So if it had to happen in like 5 years, we've already started doing it now. So I would say probably mobile working and things like that. I think that would have already been increased, and I think it'll even get better in the future.
Cool, fair enough.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jihai,
Thank you very much for having me.
Exactly, and for having you as a guest on my blog. And I hope you all liked our short interview. And if you've liked, please do like. You know what you have to say? No?
If you like it, please like and subscribe.
And share.
And share.
Share and subscribe. And maybe you have a lot of questions. Please do write in the comments. I will write to Jihai via Insta, and then you can answer them.
And
right?
my WeChat code is here.
Yeah, okay. WeChat, I think they only use it in China, so sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, bye.